You know this, right? The B-25. Real quick, B-25. I had the privilege of praying. You talk about resiliency. When the chief of staff is sitting on the stage with you, right on the platform, General Pletcher, I don't know if you remember this story, but I don't know if you were there, but I had to pray, but the time was running out. The B-25, if you don't know what they did, General Doolittle and his Raiders, they changed the tide of the war. They launched 10 to 12 hours earlier because a Japanese ship off in the waters heard that they were coming to do the Tokyo raid. You know about the Tokyo raid where they really bomb, and the President Roosevelt said, we need to hit the mainland of Tokyo and we're going to change the tide of the war. They did it. They had never flown off of carriers, according to the report. They were training, but they never really did this. The waves were high. Insurmountable odds. Now we got to leave early. And they said, we know we're not coming back. We're going one way because we're going to run out of gas. There's no turning back. But we're going to do this for love of country. So 80 crew members did this. They went out, right, on 16 planes, 5 people each in it. So they went out. Did you know they thought they all were going to die on this mission? Only 3 died, actually, in the mission. That's amazing. Not only that, some were captured, but a lot of them were not. So I don't have time to go through it all. But Lieutenant Colonel Dick Cole came last year. General Goldfein was there, Dick Cole was there, and then they had the chaplain there to pray, and they had General Hudson and so forth. And here I am, and the person is holding up the sign. Just like you probably are in the back saying, cut it, Chaplain, stop. And the person was holding up the sign. And it said, no benediction. I had just done one of my most eloquent prayers, invocation, that's the beginning. And the benediction is at the end. So I was like all fired up, right? I'm like, man. And she held the sign, no time for benediction. Because the flyover of the B-25 is about to come with the B-1. But the MC was so focused and nervous, he didn't see it. He didn't see the sign. So he says, at this time, Chaplain Neyland will come to give our benediction. I went, uh-oh, shoot. And I went up there, and this is resilience. I was able to pray the words on the paper in an expeditionary manner while praying in my mind, it's called the double prayer. Lord, please bless all who have come here today. And in my other voice was saying, Lord, don't let these planes come. Don't let these planes come. Please, Lord. And I prayed it. And so I got through it, and then taps. And right after the last note of taps, and then the guy says, this concludes today's presentation. And the first thing, General Goldfein came up to me, Chaplain, I didn't think you were going to pull it off. I said, yes, sir. That's resilience. You know, to embarrass the whole Air Force, TV cameras everywhere watching you, and you're praying and a flyover is happening. Wait a minute, hold up, you know. I got to get through this prayer. And so then General Polakowski, who really, you know, she's very steady and everything, she even went, Chaplain. When you get that from your boss, you're like, yes. So that's resilience. Okay, the last one I'll talk about, of course, are the Tuskegee Airmen, because I'm running out of time. And of course, you know our great president, 16th president. Let me go with him first. The best way to predict the future is to create it. I mean, he changed the tide. Did you know that he started off as a private? Then he was a captain. And then when he was a House of Representatives, he even lost in the election. He lost. And then he was out of politics for 10 years. Timing is everything. Your limits are somewhere up there beyond infinity, waiting for you to reach it. You know what? How could he know he was going to come from this little town practicing law to change the face of America, and dare I say, change the face of the world, because it ties into what I'm talking about, the Emancipation Proclamation, the Civil War, ugly period in American history. 800,000 of our own died, killing each other over slavery, over money. People say, it wasn't over slavery, it was over states' rights. Read the history. All right, I won't go there. I won't challenge you on it if you believe the other way. But listen, the Tuskegee Airmen, They lived in that time, right in that era where people, if you had melanin in your skin, more melanin, like me, you were not allowed, in your DNA, you were not allowed to fly. Just like ladies. Women, you weren't allowed to fly because you were a woman. If you were of African descent, you were not allowed to fly because you had more melanin in your skin. We don't know if you have the intellectual, the capability, or the reflexology to fly. I'm thinking about this. I'm like, this is crazy. You mean this happened in America? Yes, it did. But these guys, the Tuskegee Airmen, said, you know what? We're going to go for it. We're going to show the world that we can defend America. We love our country. And they did. And they flew the P-51s with excellence. They lost some bombers. They lost some too, but they were very, very, very gallant in their efforts. And so they showed the world that we can change, that we don't need to judge people by how you look on the outside or your gender. It's about being resilient. It's about being human. It's about capability that each of us in this room have, whether you have a beard or no beard, or you're tall or you're slim, or whatever you are. It is about you being resilient.